Demystifying the Cloud. Day 2, Cloud Backups. Hello, my name's Chet Davis, your technology tutor. Delighted to be with you today as we kind of work to uncover, to unravel the secrets of the cloud. We hear a lot about the cloud, about cloud computing, about cloud synchronization, about cloud backups. Well, that's our focus today on Tech for Experts and Authors. Yesterday, we talked a little bit about cloud synchronization. In other words, what is it that allows us to take our apps, things like calendars, reminders or notes, even documents, and have them sync or synchronize across different devices over time, even instantly. And that was yesterday's focus. You can go back and see yesterday's video. Today's focus is cloud storage. Tomorrow on the program, last of our 3 days focusing on demystifying the cloud. Demystifying, there's a new word. And tomorrow is cloud computing and how that's different than anything else we've talked about. So today, let's jump right in. The couple things you need to make the cloud work is you really need to have Wi-Fi or cellular access. You have to have internet access because the cloud really is the internet. We're accessing file servers, we're accessing computers via the internet that allows us to connect wirelessly or wired and connect to those computers that are going to save and or synchronize our information, our data, our files. Whether that's photos or a word processing document or a presentation on Keynote or PowerPoint, even videos, any of that using the cloud. And yesterday we talked about how to synchronize data across like your calendar or notes, and there's different applications that allow us to do that, from the iCloud ecosystem on your Apple devices to things like Dropbox and Box and even elements of the Google apps. Today, I want to focus again on cloud storage. Why it's so important is so many people do not back up their information, do not back up the data. And that can be anything from photos to word processing documents to the book you're writing. And when people really, really value a backup is when they need it. I guess to some degree, it's kind of like life insurance or health insurance. You really, really learn the value, the importance of it when it's the time you need it. And I hope you don't need it. Just like backups, I hope the backup is not something you're going to need. But backups is something that everybody should be practicing, especially if anything you work with on your digital tools, on your technology tools, whether it's your smartphone or your tablet, your iPad, your laptop, your desktop computer, anything you're working with, from photos to documents, again, to the book you're writing, to the speech you're presenting next week, to the slide deck for your keynote presentation or your workshop, any of that kind of stuff you put minutes, let alone hours and hours and hours of work into. If you're not backing it up, it could be gone tomorrow or next week or next month, and you'll have very little way to get it back. Some people say, well, I'll take it to a company and have them restore it, right? Well, there are companies who do that. It is a precise art. And I say art rather than science because it's not always retrievable depending on a bunch of different conditions. There are some companies who do it and can do most of it successfully, and it can cost hundreds or thousands of dollars to retrieve the data on a drive that's become damaged or has failed. Hard drives will fail. It's just a matter of when. So backups. Cloud backups allow you to use an internet-connected service to back up your device. And when I say backup rather than synchronize, is if you have things like iCloud turned on and you're synchronizing your calendar, it's not necessarily backing up your device. It's a separate cloud function that will back up the device. Now, I do have the iCloud storage enabled on my iPhone. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look at my iPhone. And you can see right here, I'm in the settings under the iCloud app. And we come down here. You want to make sure that you have backup turned on. Now, this will work on any of your iOS devices. That means your portable Apple Mac devices, like your iPhone or your iPad, will have this function, especially if you're working on a ladder operating system. So when I click on backup, it'll tell me that I have backup enabled. So if you want to make sure you're backing up your iPhone or your iPad, go into settings, scroll down to iCloud, tap the button and slide over here, tap backup, and ensure that the little dial, see the little green button here, is showing green. In other words, it's enabled, it's turned on. And you can see at the very bottom of this screen, my last backup was yesterday at 11:58 p.m. iCloud backups usually occur excuse me, when you are on Wi-Fi and you have power supplied to the device. So that's the most recent time my system is backed up. And if I wanted to back up something, to force a backup, to cause a backup, to initiate a backup, I could click backup now, and it will back up now if I've done something important and I want to make sure I've saved that. So that's backup in terms of backing up a mobile device, and different systems have different functions. So if you're on an Android system, there are apps that allow you to do this. But again, I'm showing you what it's like on the Apple system. I'm going to go ahead and disable this. Let's go ahead and turn this off. Okay, turn that off. And we come back to my web browser. Now, if you're talking about your computer now, and your computer is something that you want to back up as well, that will be not an iCloud backup. Now, we can synchronize files using iCloud, but if you want to back up the data, you want to save all that information that you have in on your computer, you want to use a cloud storage service. iCloud will let me back up single documents, multiple documents, files. Yesterday we talked about Dropbox or Box. You can back up files or folders, but if you want to back up your whole computer, there's a couple different options. If you're on an Apple or Macintosh computer, you can use something we call Time Machine. It's baked into the operating system. It's built right in, and that works with an on-site external hard drive. In other words, that will work with a hard drive I have hard connected to my Apple computer, or connected to the Wi-Fi in my home or office. There is value, however, in doing an off-site backup, and that's what we call a cloud backup. And the benefit of a cloud backup is if I were to have a natural disaster in my home, maybe we had a fire or a flood or something where the hard drive in my home was damaged and I wanted to be able to access my important files, I couldn't do that if I had a hard drive at home. So some people will back up to a hard drive and put it in a neighbor's house, or put it in a safe deposit box if you have a lot of valuable files. Another way to do it is a cloud storage, and that's a service you pay for. I would stay away from free services. I'm not aware of any free services that will back up your whole computer, but if there are, there's usually a catch to it. And when you pay for something, when you're paying for a premium, a subscription service, the benefit there is that you are there's an expectation, there's an agreement. Hey, I'm paying for this. I'm pretty sure it's going to be backed up because it is a service you are providing in exchange for payment. There are a couple handfuls, a couple dozen backup services. Among the ones that get rated high by technology magazines, by tech reviewers, Crash Plan is one. And Backblaze is another. There is a whole list of them, again, and you can search the web. I don't get paid to represent any one of them. I have chosen to use Backblaze. I have a number of colleagues who use Crash Plan. What you're doing is you're paying between $5 and $10 a month. You can get a break if you do an annual subscription. I pay $5 a month for Backblaze, and it's an unlimited backup on any one single device. There are also like family plans or group plans if you have multiple devices in your household or your office and you want to back those up. There are also corporate plans. But what I have is I have Backblaze, and it backs up my MacBook Pro, my primary Apple laptop, and you can see that mine is scheduled for incremental backups. It'll back up every day, and just to give you an idea of what that looks like, I've logged into the website. And if I click on users here, it'll show me all the files it has backed up. If for some reason I do have a hard drive failure, what's cool is I can come up here, I can log into a new computer, or if I take this and get this restored at the Apple Genius Bar, for example, and they fix my computer or I purchase a new one, I can download the entire backup, what we call a mirror copy of the hard drive. I could download that on my computer and restore it and have access to all those files. You also have a couple of other options. You can click here, and they will send you a USB flash drive with your entire backup on it. Okay. Now, there's an extra fee for that because there's a service. They have to do the work, and they're supplying it on a hard copy. You can also have a USB external hard drive, which is the bottom option here, and that one is $189 to have that shipped to you. But again, most folks are going to be fine with the top thing. The nice thing is, too, I could select a single file and click restore, and what happens is it will send me an email like this, and this isn't real time. I did this in advance to prepare for the show. This will show me the file, and I can download that one single file if something happened to it on my hard drive. It crashed unexpectedly. I put it in the trash, and I haven't backed up since then. It's backed up in my backup in the cloud. So very, very helpful, very, very useful. This is cloud backup. This is a cloud backup function, and it's something. It's a premium service. It's something you pay for. And again, I know a lot of us are looking for avoiding extraneous costs, avoiding paying for something we don't need. But let me tell you this, especially if you use your computer for work, or frankly, a lot of us who use a computer with your family, and you have photos on there. I remember growing up and having shoe boxes of negatives. My mom would save so much stuff, and I'm so appreciative of that because there's so much family memories of my childhood, of her childhood, that I have access to because she was a pack-rat, because she saved all that. So many of us have our memories on a digital format. And if we're not backing them up, they're prone to disappearing and being gone forever. So this is a very, very small fee, something in the neighborhood of $5 to $10 a month to back up not only your work, but also your digital family memories. Very, very precious, something I strongly recommend. Again, so what we're talking about here is cloud backups. You can back up your mobile devices. Highly recommend that. Secondarily is think about backing up your desktop or laptop computer or computers. You should have a plan in place that you're backing them up either daily or at the minimum weekly. And it requires some kind of a plan. It requires internet service, either wired, wireless, on your mobile device's cellular service, and the means to back them up away from your home or office so that you're protected in the event of some kind of a natural disaster. All right, that's it for today's program. Tomorrow, the topic is cloud computing, and you may be surprised. More and more services are moving to the cloud where I don't even have to download the application software on my device. I can work in the cloud. We'll talk about the benefits and the challenges of that tomorrow on the program, 6:45 a.m. Pacific, 9:45 Eastern. My name's Chet Davis, your technology tutor. If you haven't already, go ahead and like this page because that's going to prompt you. It's going to let you know in your Facebook stream that I've provided some new content for you. Delighted to answer questions, follow-up information. If you have other topics you'd like me to approach in future episodes, go ahead and put it in the comments below. I'd be happy to hear from you. Otherwise, go ahead and make it a great day. Bye-bye for now.